Teams have been energized with Payton on him, and Payton with the steal. Medvedenko blocked by Yao Ming, but he rejected it out of bounds. A little too strong. Still Laker ball, and we'll have time.
Medvedenko is getting far too many easy opportunities. Fortunately, Yao Ming is good enough. Van Gundy's got to make all kinds of defensive adjustments on Slava Medvedenko.
Start.
Is that a bit more than we want to know from Jim Gray about Steve Francis? But Yao Ming flashing to the post, moving without the ball. When the Rockets pass and get him involved, he's taken 6 of their first 11 shots. He gets involved. This is a guy who needs his teammates to set him up.
And again, in many ways, we were talking about this earlier today. He can't defend Shaquille O'Neal by himself. No one can. But one of the best ways to defend O'Neal is to make him work so hard down the other end of the floor.
Get it done in transition. Set some screens. Knock down some perimeter jumpers. Call for the ball, and when you get it, go right away. If it's not there, kick it back out and repost.
The key for Yao Ming to go up to the next level is the conditioning part. He's averaging about 32 minutes per game as they will inbound with 6 left on the 24. Benny Adams checking to make sure the shot clock is right. Right now it says 19. So that's where it's going to be when we inbound.
Yao Ming is just 23 years of age. He's going up against a legend at the top of his game, the top of his physical prowess, Shaquille O'Neal.
Going up against arguably one of the most dominant players ever. Medvedenko. Cato does a good job coming out and getting a hand in his face, and that's what Jeff Van Gundy's been preaching to this team about their defense. They talk about defense a lot. It's a different mindset than this team has had.
You think it really Phil Jackson's game plan to have Slava Medvedenko take 7 shots in the first 6 minutes of the first quarter?
Well, it certainly was for him to miss 6 of the 7. Jackson. Fox stays with him nicely. Good defense from Fox. And O'Neal the rebound.
But Yao Ming is flashing every single time. Shaq is so good, he has made literally every other center quit. Yao Ming is the last one standing. This is what you live for. Oh, my goodness gracious.
Quick move from Shaquille O'Neal. And the Lakers back up by 2. 4 points for O'Neal.
Yao Ming, like Sabonis, one of the only 2 guys ever able to make Shaq look like a normal-sized human being. Shaq can turn and face and be effective that way.
And a foul call. Kobe Bryant, a little over-aggressive on his defense on Mobley.
But the inside pivot just looks right at him, doesn't wait, no hesitation whatsoever, and the throwdown.
Magic losers of 6 straight. I don't know what you can say about these 2 franchises right now, but they've had their struggles. And Stan Van Gundy, who, by the way, is, along with Eddie Jordan, the longest tenured coaches in the Eastern Conference.
You know, I think when you look at these 2 teams, Miami and Orlando, you know, they both have some very good backcourt players. Obviously, T-Mac and Eddie Jones, very formidable guys. But you look at the teams that win in the NBA.
They get a new 24 to inbound. Kobe Bryant back in the game. George guarded by Griffin. You want to watch a good, tough defender, as Griffin, of course, fouls immediately. Adrian Griffin is Jeff Van Gundy's type of player. Of course, last couple of years in Dallas, started his NBA career in Boston. This guy is the epitome of a team player. Plays so hard defensively. Doesn't need to have the ball to be an effective player out on the court.
And finally, he's healthy after the knee surgery that slowed him down. The shoulder a year ago.
George, and a foul. Devin George gets in. Mo Taylor hit him in the arm.
Due to the fact that he's playing such a disciplined game tonight.
Francis and Mobley each with 4 assists.
Nice.
O'Neal, speaking of assists, picks up his 2nd on a pretty feed.
The team game. You've got to have it to win at the highest level. Can't just be isolation basketball, relying on your individual talent.
Well, that's what Phil Jackson was talking before the game. He said it was going to be interesting to see how Kobe Bryant fit into the system when he came back, because he's been happy with the team brand of basketball. Not necessarily the results, but he feels the team is playing good team basketball. Taylor feeling it a bit. Francis comes flying in, and the deflection goes to Yao Ming, blocked by O'Neal. That's his 3rd rejection. Good transition defense, though, by the Rockets.
Pull it out. Wait for Shaq to roll in.
And Grant with an easy 2. Horace Grant will force off the
3-time world champion. Comes to play his best against his biggest rivals. Throwing it down, but playing a conservative game because of the injury. And Yao Ming who only averages 11 shot attempts per game, has already taken 11, and we still have over 4.5 minutes to play in the second quarter alone. It's remarkable that Yao Ming only takes 11 shots per game. How many shot attempts do you think Shaq averages a game?
What is it at now?
13.5 shots a game for Shaquille O'Neal. That is remarkable. It wouldn't be remarkable if Kobe and Karl Malone were playing all the time.
Right. But it's a little skewered, too, because he goes to the free throw line so much. So a lot of his shot attempts negated because he goes to the line. But still, that's a surprising low number.
I mean, for a guy who is the third leading scorer by average in the history of the NBA behind Jordan and Wilt. Nice turn.
Francis went around the circle, completely around the court. Francis has only taken 2 shots in 15 minutes, and he puts the Rockets up 2.
What do you think the number for that play is? Is that number 2X?
Yeah, that's for number 3, and that's it. Everybody out of the way.
Shaq's ball fakes to initiate his own offense have been spectacular tonight.
Payton back in the game. There's Mobley with the help defense. You really got to like O'Neal's patience down low. He looked the one way. He didn't make the first pass available. He made the best pass.
Well, the Lakers are playing as a team tonight, and that has been a problem when they have been healthy out there. Selfishness and injuries, the two things that tear championship teams apart.
Taylor, good aggressive move using the left hand. Maurice Taylor, 12 points in 12 minutes.
And normally Shaq just sent all that stuff back. But he is so preoccupied with Yao Ming, and the Rockets have done a good thing by setting up Yao Ming that Shaq's going to stay at home.
You know what, Bill? Jeff Van Gundy has said that the Rockets play hard, but they don't always play smart. They're playing a smart game here in the first half.
I beg to differ.
All right, what don't you like what they're doing?
Their defensive preparation. Like that.
O'Neal misfires, and it's going to be Rocket ball. But you look,
sit on his left shoulder. You know he's going to get something going back the other way. Whatever's going back the other way is not as good as his left shoulder.
Lenny Adams says my correction, and it's going to be Laker ball with the new 24. Crowd doesn't like it. It's Fox who's back in, will inbound.
I also don't like their offensive execution. This is not a good offensive team yet.
But they're shooting 54%
on one-on-one play.
They've got 10 assists, which is a pretty decent number for them with 3 minutes to go in the second. And O'Neal that time throws it away.
They're second worst in the NBA in assists per game, owning the Miami Heat. But Yao Ming, as great a passer and willing a passer as he is, face.
Yeah, I like the way they're passing tonight. Just before that, Fox gets in. Yao Ming. Oh, nice play from Fox. There's Taylor with the foul.
As great a coach that has ever coached any sport on any level. This is a very serious development.
Kobe Bryant with his first field goal, only his second shot attempt.
17 minutes of action, Kobe Bryant to take 2 shots. He is testing that finger out. But Phil Jackson has gone through this before with the Chicago Bulls. This is where he is at his best.
Yao Ming dumps it in, and Jim Gray mentioned just before, he mentioned John Black, who's the director of public relations for the Lakers. We want to send along our condolences to John. His mom just passed away, so our prayers and thoughts go out to John and his family.
How sad. I second that emotion. But the Lakers have always been the best team in the league at rewarding their employees.
Francis with the rebound.
I am flabbergasted that they haven't been able to get this done.
Mobley. Cuttino Mobley having a terrific all-around first half. He's got 4 assists, 3 rebounds, and now 9 points.
But I'm also well aware of how this was supposed to be the dream season, the perfect team. And it has not played out that way for the Lakers, with everything that could go wrong actually coming true.
But he has looked at it as challenging. Mobley is shorts coming down there, but still able to convert. That is not an intended look, believe it or not, which wouldn't surprise me these days with the way some of the young kids wear their shorts.
Isn't that why they have drawstrings?
Francis picks up his second foul.
What's that called, a wardrobe malfunction?
So O'Neal will go back to the line. Interesting.
Go for two.
In USA Today has this series running every day of the top 10 toughest athletes in pro sports. And Shaquille O'Neal finished number 8 this week.
Obviously, they didn't ask the people who have to guard him. How do they measure toughness?
Let's see, who else was in there? Julie Crone, the jockey, was number 10. He's pretty tough. Tiger Woods was number 7. They talked a lot about his mental toughness. Although,
so this was a subjective ranking.
Of course. It's not like it was voted. It was something they thought of.
Who's number 1?
Carl, they haven't disclosed that yet. You're going to have to buy the paper.
Quarter AI, Greg.
Well, Allen Iverson will respond in the face of adversity. He did it tonight, had a big game for the 76ers.
12 points in the first quarter. Eric Snow, coast to coast, getting some layup love right there. Sixers up 22. Chris Ford is the answer.
Well, it helps that it's the Wizards. Well, true. That helps a lot.
Iverson had 25.
An opportunity to win this ballgame. What did you say to your troops here at halftime?
There's not much to say. We just need to compete hard, play smart. You know, we had a couple outlets and loose balls get away from us that turned into points for them. Against, you know, that lineup, you can't afford to make mistakes.
What do you do to keep Yao in the game and confident? He was 4 for 12.
I don't think great players have any problems with their confidence. You know, he's just got to play every night, and he's playing hard. That's all we can ask.
Jeff, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Look in the second half. Back out to you, Mike.
All right, Jim, he is playing hard. And I was impressed how, right from the get-go, Bill, he attacked Shaquille O'Neal.
Which is such a breath of fresh air because Shaq is so dominant and so forceful out there. He scares everybody away. It makes him quit out there. But Yao Ming is a guy that believes from the opening day where Yao Ming was drafted, he said, I want to play against Shaquille O'Neal. And the head-to-head matchup tonight, pretty much a wash. The fact that Yao Ming has got 12 shot attempts, more than he averages per game, only in the first half, is a great sign. Shaq having a very good night himself in terms of controlling the game.
Our Nike first half stats, good shooting numbers for the Rockets. They're not one of their strengths, but they're 53% from the field. 11 assists is more than they normally have. As Bill mentioned earlier, they're one of the last in the NBA, second to last in assists per game, but have done a pretty good job here in the first half. And both teams' benches have contributed.
Well, Maurice Taylor was awesome for Jeff Van Gundy. He goes 6 for 8 to get 12 points. And then you get Derek Fisher, Devin George, and Horace Grant making significant contributions for Phil Jackson. Neither big man has a foul, and that is great for lots of action the remaining 24.
Yeah, blocked by O'Neal. The 4th rejection from Shaquille O'Neal.
Time and time again, and we'll see when they put that package together. When you get a big man on the move, you have to come to a stop and come back with your devastating right-handed jump hook, a la Hakeem Olajuwon.
Gary Payton quietly had a strong half. 10 points, 4 of 5 shooting, 3 assists. 4 on the shot clock. Payton bumped and fouled.
And look at, they'd have this much.
Oh, nice feed, and Yao Ming finishes with authority.
What hands. You remind me of Kelvin Cato finishing in the basket area there.
12 points and 8 rebounds for Yao Ming. Cato against Medvedenko, trying to draw the foul. Fox keeps it alive. Fox with the foul.
Where's the great defensive rebounding? Kelvin Cato should not be sitting there yelling at the referee, Benny Adams.
Jeff Van Gundy screaming at him. He thought there should have been a charge on Medvedenko.
I have never seen a guy flash into the paint more than Yao Ming and not get the ball.
Mobley trying to draw the foul, instead kicks it off. Shot clock winding down again. And the ball was deflected, so still Rockets ball with 5 on the shot clock.
The hands of Yao Ming, 7'6", catches it with his left, and then the immediate delivery and throw.
I've always felt Fox is one of the most underrated players in the league in terms of guys that's never made an all-star team. Blocked by Cato. Rockets look to push.
Wide open, Cuttino Mobley.
They're going to wave it off. Foul on the entry pass.
Look at Van Gundy. He can't believe this.
He did foul him before he had the ball. He was grabbing him on the entry pass. Yao Ming did a really pretty move in terms of finishing it off. Let's take a look.
We talked about Shaq being a ballerina. How about the pirouette and finishing off his right foot?
See, I think he was grabbing him before the pass even got there. For the Lakers, that's their second team foul. And for Medvedenko, his second. Jackson trying to post up Payton.
Nice passing.
Jackson slipping almost. Forces up the shot. Not a good shot that time, and Payton the rebound.
Jim Jackson made the first basket of the game of 3, and he's been a non-factor ever since.
He's 1 of 5 from the field. Fox inside. And Rick Fox, who just missed that layup, comes right back. And one of the things, saying about him being an underrated player, he's such a good defender and rarely gets that notice, but he's also a good shooter and an excellent ball handler for a guy at his position.
One of my favorite players of this era and generation, Rick Fox, but not an all-star player.
No, what I'm saying is for a guy who's never made the all-star team, he's an underrated player.
But indispensable to winning championships.
Not a smart pass by Francis. For the Rockets, their 7th turnover, which is below what they normally average.
It's early.
Always the optimist. Then Fedenko and Cato, who's come out with a little fire here in the 3rd quarter.
Well, it's just so frustrating to see a team with so much talent, so much promise, not really come close to what they could possibly do.
Cato. I don't think that's in the game plan. Oh, Yao Ming, and a foul! Shaquille O'Neal hit him in the head when Yao Ming goes right to the hoop.
This is remarkable. Shaquille O'Neal appeared to have the great position.
That's not a play he makes last year, but this year, and Phil Jackson talked about that before the game, he's adapted to the physical play much, much better, and that's a play that he's making this season.
There's nothing on earth that prepares you for the NBA, on and off the court.
Rockets by 2. Just over 4 minutes gone by.
Now that's a flash right there.
It's a flash and then a bulldoze as O'Neal will shoot a couple. Yao Ming picks up his 2nd.
Yao Ming is the only big man in basketball today that plays defense before his man receives the ball. But he's still allowing Shaq to step in every single time. And when Shaq steps in, it's always
4th of hopefully many, many, many more.
I want to see some playoff action.
Yes.
Shaq and Yao Ming, Rockets and Lakers.
Again, when you talk about rivalries, a rivalry does not exist until you have some great playoff series. And look at the difference in the free throw shooting in the first 3 games between the two.
Yao Ming is never going to be a volume free throw shooter. What I'd like to see him do against Shaq is a little bit deeper position. Nice passing.
Shaq. And before the jam, he's fouled again. So Yao Ming has picked up 3 quick ones.
No, they're going to count that basket, they're saying.
Jimmy Capers, the outside official, said no, they waved it off. Mobley inside. Cato gathers himself. Cato was not much of a factor in the first fight. Jim Mobley and a foul. Well, that's true. One of the things that Ewing has been talking to him about is that toughness. And Ewing certainly was very tough and very durable throughout his career with the Knicks.
And look at the power forwards he had, though. Charles Oakley.
It certainly helps when you have somebody like that. I don't know if it's necessarily that Yao Ming's not tough. It just, again, it's his personality, his demeanor. He's just such a nice, pleasant person.
I think that's one of the problems that so many of the international players have. They're also nice. They almost feel like they're guests in this country here, and they're afraid if they do something tough, they might be asked to go home.
Gets inside for an easy 2.
I mean, Akeem Olajuwon was the nicest guy in the world. You could never get him.
He was not so nice on the court. He was a tough competitor.
Well, absolutely. And Yao Ming will grow into that as well. Up against the shot clock here. Laker defense at its best.
6 now on the 24. Francis does not look to shoot that much. In rhythm, Francis knocks it down. Steve Francis playing a very controlled game. He's 4 for 5 from the field.
Well, one of the things Van Gundy said, we have to play early offense against Los Angeles because the Laker defense improves late in the shot clock. Great pass, Shaquille O'Neal.
And Fedenko, way long. And the Rockets come the other way with a 3-point lead.
How many times in this half have the Rockets used Yao Ming as a passer? And I think that's the best part of his game.
He is such a good passer and such a good feel. Francis going one-on-one with Gary Payton. And Francis wins that matchup.
And Phil Jackson says, we've seen enough. We're breaking down. They got a hot hand. The crowd rising as one.
The Rockets shooting 53% from the field. Steve Francis has been in control. And right now, Houston has equaled their largest lead of the game. Extremely well. Payton.
Goaltending.
Count it. Ball on the glass.
See, that's legal in international basketball.
Jeff Van Gundy arguing.
The ball hits the rim. And once it's on the rim, once it's on the backboard, you can't take it off. A play that would be allowed in the Olympics.
Even on the way down.
Even when it's in the basket, you can pull it back out.
And Mobley fouled. Grant on the reach-in.
I think the 3 fouls on Yao is critical. Everybody who plays against Shaq wears down. In bunches, so Van Gundy is trying every opportunity to put Kelvin Cato on Shaq.
Mobley is the free throw. In the rule book concerning goaltending, you can't touch the ball after it's touched any part of the backboard above the rim, whether the ball's considered on its upward or downward flight. Yeah, that's where Yao Ming hit it on the downward. Rockets back up by 5. This has been their largest lead. They've led most of the game, although the Lakers keep taking leads and then losing it again. I shouldn't say most of the game. They've had a lot of lead changes, but the Lakers' biggest lead is only 2. Cato knocks it away. Francis wanted a foul.
Gary Payton's everywhere.
Fox. Interesting pass. And a travel call on Shaquille O'Neal.
But the decision-making by Shaquille to see that that ball was wildly thrown by Rick Fox. Phil Jackson patiently watching it all unfold.
Only the 7th Laker turnover. Rockets only have 9. It's been a well-played game. That's the key number for the Houston Rockets again. They're not one of your better passing teams in the league.
Great defense, Rick Fox.
Mobley using Yao Ming. Puts in the 3. 8-point Rocket lead.
A theory for beating the Lakers. Have somebody that can contest Shaq in some aspects and then have the other guys just have huge games. They're getting that from Mobley and Francis.
Largest lead of the game. O'Neal. Too strong. Yao Ming tips it out. Here come the Rockets.
Have to convert in transition.
Jackson. Bang! An 11-point lead for the Houston Rockets. 8 straight points.
If you're Yao Ming, don't foul.
And a big bucket from Kobe Bryant to momentarily. They've been outscored 25-18. And you look at the Rockets shooting 56% from the field.
It's been a struggle on the offensive end, though, for the Lakers. No easy baskets, only 2 points on the fast break all night. Shaq, no baskets since the first minute of the second quarter as he sits this one out here.
And the ball kicked by Fox, so they reset the shot clock to 14. Yao Ming getting his breather now.
And this is the good strategy by Yao Ming and Van Gundy to rest Yao Ming during his time and let Maurice Taylor take over, who had 12 big points in the first half.
Taylor, a big spark in that second quarter. Francis has come alive.
Good of Hakeem Olajuwon going against Shaq in the 95 Houston-Orlando NBA Finals.
So that 27 points by the Rockets in the third quarter. That's a lot of points for the Houston Rockets.
What movement without the ball by Shaq.
Again, gets it deep, but he can't convert. And Jackson toys with it a little bit.
You know, Francis is hot. Run things to get him more shots. Don't let him cool off.
See the fast break points. Lakers hardly with any. And a foul down the other end. And free throws coming up as O'Neal picks up his second foul. He wants the ball now. Yao Ming puts it in. 18 points for Yao Ming. And this is the largest lead of the game for the Houston Rockets.
There's not a player in the NBA that is willing or able to do that other than Yao Ming. Just look at Shaq and say, I'm coming at you, big man. Not since the days of Hakeem Olajuwon.
He's combined it nicely, coming at him and turning and just shooting. George O'Neal, foul. That's a good hard foul from Yao Ming as he picks up his fourth.
Yao Ming receives the ball, little ball fake to take Shaq off him, the pressure, turn and face. Shaq has to step back another step, and then on the other end, Shaq just flashes right in, brings the hands up wide to keep the defender, even as big as Yao Ming, on his backside.
O'Neal now 8 of 11 from the free throw line. And Yao Ming's probably going to sit down for a few minutes again. 4 fouls, 10-10 to go. Maybe 5-6 minutes. Jeff Van Gundy will sit him down. He's played 31 minutes. Averages about 32 per game.
Shaq's like the wind, the rain, the cold rain and snow. He just comes out, and over the course of time, you have nothing left to do other than just wilt under the pressure, as Patrick Ewing trying to give Yao Ming some pointers.
It's just invaluable getting from a guy who's been there. Mobley off balance. Thought he was fouled. 10-point game. Rockets in front. Fisher, good aggressive move and a blocking foul. Taylor got in there. They're going to call a charge. Well, it looked like Taylor got in late, but Fisher called for the charge. Excuse me.
Very tough call against the Lakers here. Coming in at a bad angle. If you're the Lakers, you got to keep playing. This Rocket team, we were here 2 weeks ago against Sacramento. The Rockets completely outplayed them for 3.5 quarters and then it fell apart in the closing 6 minutes. The Kings beat them.
Fisher, I think, had a legitimate beat that time. Francis for 3. Stevie Francis. 8 for 9 from the field. Francis. Mobley trying to find Jimmy Jackson, spotting up for 3. 14-point lead.
Bill Jackson still waiting it out. No signs of panic whatsoever. Rockets banking on
offensive foul. O'Neal lowered the shoulder and blasted Cato out of there. That's the 3rd foul on Shaquille O'Neal. O'Neal, not much of a factor in the second half. Bryant has not been a factor his first game back. He didn't expect him just to come back and dominate after missing. Again, he's played a total of 47 minutes in the past month between the finger and the shoulder injury. And a reach-in foul on Kobe Bryant. For the Lakers, their 2nd team foul. For Bryant, his 3rd. Yao Ming went out at the 10-10 mark. And the Rockets have increased their lead.
Same thing that happened on Christmas Day.
Francis. Hard foul by O'Neal, and they call a flagrant foul. Dan Crawford is the 3rd most that you hear. As Horace Grant knocks it down. Lakers trying to come to reps and certainly don't see him a lot in a row. Mobley inside. Cuttino Mobley, in all the games I've watched him play this season, he's had points where he scored more, but this might be his best all-around game.
Between the two of them, Francis and Mobley, they've been flawless. They're not turning the ball over. They're shooting a remarkable percentage. Kobe Bryant has been quiet until then. It's the type of situation where he loves to just take over the entire team. But Mobley and Francis, 40 points between them, 15 assists, 11 boards, and only 5 turnovers. They're 15 for 22 from the floor.
Right, that shooting number is what's so impressive because neither shoot a high percentage from the field. Francis is under 40% for the season. Yao Ming, quick shot, blocked for the foul. And Shaquille O'Neal will pick up his 5th personal. Yao Ming with 2 more free throws, so he grew up around the game.
I completely disagree. Basketball, there's nothing to do with genetics.
No, what I'm saying, his mind was around the game. He learned the game. He was at games all the time as a kid watching his parents.
I never shot a single basket with my dad. I saw him run one time at the church picnic and fell over laughing. The most unathletic guy I've ever seen. Yet the man who has given me my life and my dreams have come true because of his sacrifices.
Francis. Stevie Francis, 9 for 11 from the field. And again, He comes into this game shooting 39% from the floor. That's for the season. 16-point lead with 5:20 to play. O'Neal draws the foul, and he'll shoot two.
Homing play. I mean, history is at stake here.
But you have to admit that when you're on the road this long, it takes its toll. It's
You
been a
were
long
in the
trip.
locker room before the game. This was a dedicated, determined, and focused Laker team. They have been spanked.
Taylor knocked away. What the mind says and the legs say, two different things sometimes.
But they've won 6 out of 10 games.
Bryant hits another three. Kobe Bryant starting to find the range. And the lead is cut to 12. Still plenty of time left.
And the question for Kobe is, why did he wait so long?
Bryant is 4 of 5 from the field. All 4 of his field goals have been from three-point range. Yao Ming with 6 on the shot clock. Jump hook, dumps it in. 22 for Yao Ming.
This is an awe-inspiring performance by the big man.
O'Neal blocked the foul. They wanted to hope there's going to be many, many more.
They only hope they give him the ball more.
They've given him the ball tonight. Operating, spinning, driving, and he puts it in. What a play from Yao Ming. The crowd in a frenzy here at the Toyota Center.
Are we seeing a turning point in history?
O'Neal, strong offensive rebound and a foul. Stevie Francis, get out of the way. He got clocked in the head. But look at this play, Bill.
How do you describe this other than flawless? Perfection. Akeem Olajuwon, Bob McAdoo, Kevin McHale, all the great low-post finesse players in NBA history. I'm talking now about a guy 7'6", almost 300 pounds, and just getting started and taking it to the most dominant and vibrant force in basketball today.
That ball's good. Top of the backboard is inbounds, as long as it doesn't hit the shot clock. Meanwhile, Yao Ming has 10 of his 24 here in this fourth quarter.
And Van Gundy's gravest concern was Yao Ming wearing down. He's getting stronger. They're just going to him every time.
And a foul, and O'Neal is gone. And the crowd loves it as Shaquille O'Neal fouls out for the first time this season.
This is a historical event. We are seeing a 23-year-old man, Yao Ming, in just his second year, calling for the ball against Shaquille O'Neal. Who would have ever thought?
This has to be such a confidence builder, even though, as Jeff Van Gundy said earlier, great players have confidence, but it's got to feel so good because he's been so aggressive right from the start. And they're playing the Yao Ming song here at the Toyota Center. The crowd is absolutely delighted. 6 fouls, O'Neal is gone. The lead is back up to 12 with 3:20 remaining.
And as exhilarating and heartwarming as this is for Yao Ming and the Rockets, how frustrating and disappointing for the Lakers.
Legler has thoughts on Kobe's return to the lineup.
The injury to Kobe Bryant's right hand really shouldn't limit his effectiveness at all because I don't think he'd be back unless that thing was completely healed. The one area where he might feel it, though, is when he catches the ball coming off screens. Look for that.
Legs, thanks. Kobe wasn't shooting much. Did struggle, though, on defense. Coutinho, Mobley, the up, the under, off the window. Coutinho had 21. The matchup, though, we're talking about the heavyweight, Shaq and Yao. Greg Anthony weighs in on that.
Both guys display attitude. Shaq's is all about domination and being great. Yao's is about trying to fit in and learn the system. If he ever wants to become great, his attitude and demeanor will have to change.
Attitude and demeanor, let's see. Yao gets a kick by big fella, kicks it out to Coutinho. Coutinho's like, go ahead and dunk on him, don't be afraid. Well, he didn't dunk on him, but he did dunk. Yao 10 in the first half. Shaq, you know he's going to answer. The big sewer, I see him doing work. He drops the hammer. He had 12 in the first half. Kobe quiet on offense, didn't make his first shot till late in the second quarter, and it's this triple. He had 5.5. Rockets up 1 at halftime. Third quarter, Yao, Shaq continuing to be interesting. Down low, Shaq he is 14 feet tall. He gets hit upside the head and still gets the dunk. One more time. Ow. Ooh. Can you imagine how much that would hurt? Shaq is big, much big. Then, oh, Stevie Wonder. Off of the Coutinho Mobley feed. Rockets up 8, starting to stretch it out. In the fourth, Yao. Big fella showing some sublime skills with the lay-in. Rockets up 15, and then later in the fourth, Shaq gets frustrated, just hammers Yao. Shaq's out. Yao had 24 and 11. He wins the battle, and the Rockets win the game. Do you remember these full-screen scores?
Wow.
Back in the day.
Hawk, wax.
Let's take a look. We'll see. Rockets shoot 55% in this ball game. Lakers but 40. Yao Ming led the way with 29.
That's some attitude.
Yeah, it is attitude. Stevie Francis, quite a night, shooting 9 of 11 from the floor, 21 points. But the story of the night is Yao, who spoke afterwards with Jim Gray.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Yao, congratulations. 29 points, 11 rebounds. Was this the best night of your career?
I think it is because, that's a big game. LA Lakers is the best team in this league, Everybody want to do something when they come in.
What gave you so much confidence tonight against Shaquille O'Neal, the most dominant player in the NBA?
Excuse me?
What gave you so much confidence tonight against Shaquille O'Neal?
Teammate.
自信心，为什么你的自信心这么高了？Colin Pine is interpreting.
Okay, because teammate.
Because of your teammate.
Yes.
Let me ask you, you got hit in the head by Shaquille O'Neal. You showed a lot of toughness. You did not go down tonight. Were you conscious of that?
I almost forget this hit. I almost forget this whole hit. But you told me again.
Did it hurt?
No.
Are you looking forward to the All-Star game?
Yes. I was very excited for this.
Yao, congratulations, and thank you for speaking to us in English.
Okay, thank you.
Colin, thank you. Gentlemen, back to you.